All right, YouTube, the live broadcast format that I've got in mind has taken its next step. It's gone from infant to toddler, so to speak. I'm still in the preliminary stages here. There will be a live broadcast later this afternoon because it's Friday. There might be another one on Saturday. I'm thinking bi-weekly because once a week it's not quite enough meat on the bones, so to speak. But two exciting pieces of news here. The first is that my first choice for sort of co-host, essentially, the person that I most wanted to be involved with this ongoing project, appears to be interested. I'm not going to say who it is. It's another YouTuber, fairly well known. Not some random person that I happen to like, but somebody that I've watched his material. I find it entertaining. Has sort of the dry, sarcastic humor aspect to it, which I appreciate. I think that would allow conversation to flow more easily. So that's part number one, and I can't say who it is because it might not happen anyway. But I'm optimistic about that taking place. The second piece of news is I need help from you, my subscribers, because if this is going to work, it's going to need to be something where people can call in, potentially have literally a call-in segment. Considering the number of people that are watching the somewhat primitive solo broadcast that I'm making, I have great hope that if multiple people who are well known are getting together on a more well-formatted stream, the audience that it will garner probably will dwarf what I'm doing now. So there's no possibility that I'll be able to even look at the YouTube comments without it freezing something up. It's just one of YouTube's quirks. So what I need to know, since some of you are presumably more tech literate than me, is what specific equipment I would need and how to set it up in order to have a call-in system. If it's on my end that I'm doing that, fine. If not, that's fine too. Maybe have several other people involved with making such a broadcast. Now, I'm looking to make it more streamlined, more efficient, and more entertaining. When this happens, and it will, I assure you it will happen, it's just a matter of who's involved and what time frame it happens in. I need to buy whatever equipment it is that I need because I'm going to need to make use of it on a fairly regular basis. I might literally have to transform part of this room into a studio. Or I may have to literally build a studio in one of the other rooms of the house, essentially. I'm taking this seriously. I'm convinced that there's an audience that's completely untapped of people that want to watch material that's not politically correct, that covers sort of the current events and so forth in a more entertaining situation, but also is syndicating it through YouTube, which some of the more major podcasts and so forth, they simply don't do it. You get a contract with some sites, someone that's going further into commercialization, they're probably banned from even doing that. Honestly, they might be able to put clips on a company YouTube page. That's about all they can do. I prefer to be more independent, to control the content more, in association with other people that will be involved with this, at least one other person, probably more. And it's going to be potentially a major thing. I'm interested in broadcasting to as many people as possible. If that ends up being millions of people, great. It's not without the realm of possibility. It really depends on the format that I can get set up, but I need to know what equipment that I actually have to set up. I didn't study radio or anything like that. I've been relying upon a halfway decent microphone and webcam with a laptop sort of setup. That may no longer be something that I can use insofar as these particular broadcasts go. I might have a separate space set up specifically for sort of a radio style show. But I know I'm going to need probably another computer. I've heard murmurings as far as the cursory research that I've done that I'd need a smartphone or something. I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping there's some sort of program. I can get another laptop, put some program on there, and it'll function the same. It'll be better. It'll be easier for me than having some smartphone I'll never use for anything else lying in the corner, or a tablet or something like that. I don't even like smartphones and tablets. If I have to, I have to. Otherwise, I'd prefer to avoid that. And then some sort of mixing sort of equipment, which I'm sure will be a hassle to set up because I know nothing about this sort of thing. But I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to try, because this is something that I've wanted to do for years now. And just now I have the money, the budget literally necessary to invest in the equipment, the audience necessary to make it worthwhile to actually conduct regular live broadcasts. And I think there's an increasing audience as well using the internet for live material, for entertainment and information that's largely untapped in many cases. There's still a great reliance on YouTube on standalone videos. There's not so live streams that are popular at all are being conducted by channels primarily built off of one-off videos, including mine. And so it would be interesting to see what happens here. So there is some interest in it, but I'm going to need help. My budget is essentially, probably $1,000 or something like that. If I have to spend more, I have to spend more. Obviously, if I buy another laptop, it's going to be more expensive than some cheap smartphone or something like that. And that's just fine. If I have to delay it by a month to save up the funds necessary to do so, because, I've got student loans to take care of and so forth, so be it. And your contributions largely are making this possible. The income that I get from my books, that takes care of all the bills. It takes care of food. It takes care of, internet costs and so forth. That's great. But people contributing as much as they have has set me up to the point at which I'm capable of investing in improving the format of this channel in a general sense. Now, I'll probably need more sophisticated equipment than just a webcam at some point. That's fine. There are microphones that cost 10 times as much as this one. They have like shock mounts and everything else. If I have to invest in one of them, so be it. It's worth it to me because I want it to be, at least for the live broadcasts, I want it to be professional. For just the one-off videos, I'm going to continue doing this. But if it's something that needs more sophistication, I'm going to need help setting it up. I'm taking care of all those costs on my end. Nobody else who I ask to be involved in this is going to have to incur a penny's cost. It would be pointless. Why would somebody want to do that? They can go off and do their own thing. I'll incur the cost. I'll set it up. I'll try to learn how to figure everything out and become like a half-assed techie, essentially. But I'm going to need to know specifically what I need because I'm getting mixed messages on how to actually do this from different websites, and I don't know anybody in the radio business. I don't know anybody personally in my real life who has ever done sort of the live broadcasting thing. And the YouTube makes it more simple. But as far as setting up so people can call into such a show, and so I can control the flow of those calls, and I have a bunch of annoying noises on Skype or whatever, it's Greek to me, essentially. If you have any reading material you can submit to me on that topic, that's great. Also remember, if you send me messages, don't send a link in the first message or it ends up in the spam folder usually. Send me a message saying, hey, I have info, wait till I respond, and then you can send me links because the conversation has started. It's some YouTube quirk. It's just the way that they do business. Now, and I'll take it from there, and I'll try to figure out what I'm doing. Try not to run around like a chicken with its head cut off, and I think people will enjoy the sort of quality of entertainment that I have in mind. It's going to be more edgy than my regular videos. It's going to have a faster pace, potentially. And it's not just going to be me rambling. Other people will be involved. And that conversation, when I get with other people in conversations, I'm more off the wall than I am talking on my own. I laugh more, I have more fun, ideas flow more easily. It's just that until now, I didn't really have the means to set something like this up. And I don't want to go just, start a Google Hangout with this other person and do a live broadcast, once a week. No, I want it to be more professional than that. I want it to be something as well that can potentially be exported to other platforms. Because I'd like to operate on half a dozen different platforms at this point. I have the means, collectively, we certainly have the audience. It will just work. I get one of those intuitions sometimes that tells me something is or is not a good idea. It's like with House of Air. When I didn't bother to talk about it when the video was up, it's because I got a gut feeling that I've learned over time to trust that it wasn't the time to make that video until it was taken down and that it inevitably would. And that was right. I made the video. Everything's fine. My intuition tells me that such a broadcast, properly formatted, would quickly take off in popularity. It would launch anyone involved into the stratosphere because it's going to tap into some sort of niche audience that right now doesn't really have anything fully suited to their entertainment needs or their infotainment needs in a sense. Maybe unless they're watching like Alex Jones or something like that, I suppose that'd be roughly akin to what I have in mind. But it's going to be more geared. It's not going to go into the fringe material so much as just I'm going to sit there cracking jokes for hours, honestly. Some people enjoy that. Some people think the more dry, sometimes self-deprecating humor isn't so funny. They want fart jokes or something like that. I'm interested in doing that and much, much more. It'd be funny to have people call in who are funny enough to justify calling them up. Start prank calling them live on air or something like that. You could do that. YouTube is also better than actual radio or many other websites in that it's becoming less censored over time. The amount of stuff you can get away with putting on YouTube is increasing over time. It's getting more, other than copyright. Copyright, that's sort of stagnated a few years ago after leveling out. Anything else, though, it's getting more permissive. And I think that's great. And YouTube has an excellent business model when it does this, because they realize the newer generations, the younger millennials and Gen Z especially, don't give a fuck about censorship. They don't care. They don't want anything censored. They want to say exactly what they want to say. And oftentimes we can't even understand why any form of censorship, whether by a government or by an entertainment institution, would be necessary. It's like, screw your feelings, sort of. So that's sort of what I want to do in the future with this channel. There will probably be as well another entirely separate channel to archive that material as well, honestly. So yeah, if you can help me with that, if you can just message me, I'll say hi, tell me what kind of equipment I need to accept calls in to make a broadcast that's more efficient and so forth, I'd be highly appreciative. That's about all. Peace out.